Under our feet is a world more mysterious than outer space. There are all kinds of bizarre things hidden in the endless deep sea, ancient or even terrifying creatures. We think we know this planet, but the abyss of human true loss is less than 5%. No one knows. In those corners where even the light is afraid, what else is squatting on? Are you ready? Hold your breath. Now, I'm going to take you down to one level at a time. The blue realm that humans have never fully conquered. Our journey begins with the waves at sea level. Jump into the light transmitting layer. It's sunny. The water temperature is the area with the highest concentration of marine biodiversity we are familiar with. Have chosen to settle down here. Price up to 40 meters. Giant seaweed forests, they are not only a haven for countless marine life, contribute 70% of the Earth's oxygen. Another 6 meters down, paradise. A lot of people think of corals as plants, but actually, coral is a meat that's related to jellyfish. This peculiar shape, it's them who are long, the perfect camouflage formed by evolution. Hundreds of billions of corals. Here, magnificent coral reefs have been built together during the shuttle between clownfish and butterflyfish. Think of it as paradise. But paradise is also a hunting ground for seabirds, and even diving predators like polar bears can easily reach here to hunt. Many fish feed here only briefly. Swim to the deep sea. The tuna, flying fish and herring rely on their large populations. Will stay in the light transmitting layer coincidentally. For a long time. These are the fish we humans commonly eat. Continue to dive to 60 meters. We will be with the top flowing king crab on the human table. Meet by chance. The depth of life of these little pincers. It's just right. Not only is it easy for humans to capture, it will also be caught by large wooden octopuses and even sea towers. Maybe this is the best taste. The price you have to bear, just in front of them on the sand. You can also witness a migration that can be called a migration. Hundreds of spiny lobsters are coming end to end, array in a mighty formation at the bottom of the sea, like a lobster train. They follow closely in the footsteps of their comrades ahead. Precise navigation using the Earth's magnetic field to deeper, calmer waters. Thrive. Escape the storm. This peculiar train formation, just like the geese tribulation formation flying south in this well-trained armored army. The lobster at the front of the line requires 100% water resistance. The whole team broke the wind and the companions who follow. This can reduce the resistance by nearly 50%. You won't get tired even if you travel for a long time. Farewell to the noisy shrimp and crab. We are 90 meters underwater. Encounter a sleeping history. Royal Hospital ship. The wreckage of the Britannic. Pang Ran goes into as a sister ship of the Titanic. The Britannic sank into the Aegean Sea in 1916. It was only 3 years after the Titanic crash. Sailing seemed to be the family's destiny. But fortunately, compared to his famous sister, the wreckage of the Britannic has been better preserved. Breakthrough 100 meters underwater. We have reached the ultimate depth of professional divers. And this is also the habitat of the North Pacific giant octopus, the largest known octopus species. Its adult individual arm span can reach 4.3 meters, 50 kilograms. It has 3 hearts and 9 brains. Each tentacle can sense and act independently. And when we cross the 180-meter threshold, encounter the yellow hairtail known as the messenger of hell. Silver, metallic bony fish, with a slender, flat body, like a snake. As you can see, they're incredibly long. The longest individual on record can be reached from start to finish. 11 meters long. Continue to dive. 200-meter tick. We cross the light transmitting layer, the threshold of officially entering the deep sea twilight zone. The sun has completely lost its penetrating power. Absolute darkness, but an ambiguous. The orchid world between dusk and darkness. There are no plants to survive here, but it has the highest density of life in the ocean. Calculated by biomass, about 90% of marine life on Earth are concentrated in this deep range. With any luck, you might also be able to see that. Exclusive to the deep sea, romantic ocean snow. The remains of countless species and organic debris. They are slowly falling. It feeds this dark, isolated world. In the abyss beyond the reach of sunlight, this snow is the most precious gift of life. Continue to dive 500 meters. This is the limit of the depth that blue whales can dive. As the largest living animal on Earth, blue whales can reach a length of 33 meters. It weighs an astonishing 180 tons. One gulp of the abyss can swallow 2 million lobsters. In addition, it is the natural world. Very few animals are less susceptible to cancer. And at the same depth. Emperor penguins also visit occasionally. It's hard for you to imagine. These are in Antarctica. Little guy swaying on the ice. He turned out to be the diving world sprint champion. To forage in the deep sea, they evolved extremely high levels of hemoglobin to store oxygen. New Zealand scientists in the Antarctic reported shocking numbers. A ground penguin, a single dive lasts 32.2 minutes. Put the previous record of 27.6 minutes. Forcefully advanced by 4.6 minutes. This looks like a human job. But for no fish, just ground penguins with thin airbags holding their breath. But in exchange for a meal. Why are they working so hard? Because there are family members behind you who must be protected. This moment, during a 4-month polar night storm in Antarctica, Daddy Penguin is standing still. Protect the fragile egg with the temperature of the belly, and the young with the broken shell. I'm closing my eyes, waiting for the first bite of salted fish in life. It's a relay of life. It's a gamble in the abyss. If mom doesn't catch the food, or not from here, 500 meters in the dark, swimming for husbands and children on the ice, the only ending is starvation. So, that extra 4.6 minutes is not a cold number. It was a mother who did everything in her power. A little bit more life from the deep sea to Antarctica. Spend your life on the care and perseverance of your family. Down to 600 meters under tremendous water pressure. Monster-level creature, Japanese giant. Here we go. Crab. It has legs that span 3.7 meters. That's the length of a family car. The largest crab in the world. Low temperature and high pressure environments tends to lead to gigantism. Enable them to. Slower metabolism sustains long life. The average lifespan of meat crabs is only the currently known giant spider crab. The oldest person lived to be 176 years old. Down to the dark depths of 800 meters. A strange fish that resembles an alien visitor. Appear. The eye fish is pitch black. The head is completely transparent, like a panorama of a fighter jet. The cabin is in near absolute darkness. In the deep sea. This transparent head, it can maximize the collection of weak light around it. Many people see this fish for the first time. Will be mistaken for. And those holes in the front are his eyes. It's actually his nostrils. Transparent head. The 2 green balls growing on the pillar. Those are his eyes. This fisheye can not only rotate in different directions. It's more like a telescope. Freely adjustable focus. Pinpoint the target in the dark, and that's where the name acting comes from. About a kilometer in the deepest part of the twilight zone, the light disappears completely. This is the territory of king pickled oil. They're up to 14 meters long. Weighs up to 500 kilograms. It is the heaviest invertebrate on Earth. If you cut it open, just a squid ring. It's the size of a tractor tire. And not only that, he also has the largest eyes in the animal kingdom. 27 centimeters in diameter. It's bigger than a standard basketball. Specially designed for use capture in the faint dark, bioluminescence, or detect the movement of natural enemies. The natural enemy of these giant deep sea squid often dive to a depth of 1 kilometer to hunt these giant prey. And as the overlord of mollusks, king pickled oil will naturally not be captured. In the dark, he will use tentacles that are not satisfied entangled in the body of the fragrance. Fight to the death. But most of the time, this epic battle, and it ends with a feast of perfume. When crossing the threshold of 1 kilometer, we're in the deep sea midnight zone. Start here. No more day and night. The only color in the deep sea. All that's left is the flickering chemical fluorescence. In order to survive in this desperate situation, the creatures here have evolved to extreme. It's wild and counterintuitive survival strategy, like this scrawled-looking deep sea monkfish. They used decoys with bioluminescent bacteria. Invite those curious in the dark. Ignorant prey. But even more interesting is their love. Meeting the same kind in the vast harder deep than winning sea. The lottery. So the tiny male monkfish, once you smell the female pheromone, will rush up without hesitation, bite each other's body. It secretes the seed enzyme, combine their own blood vessels with the female's fuse body into one. Over time, the male's eye, flag, and internal organs gradually degenerate. Ultimately, it was reduced to a company only responsible sharing life with females for life. A female. You can even have several males hanging from your body. This extreme form of reproduction is called sexual parasitism, and this is by no means an exception. In deep sea swimming, to survive and multiply, any crazy behavior is not surprising. down to 1,200 meters. Water pressure reaches 115 atmospheres. Here it is. We'll meet the one-of-a-kind internet celebrity droplet scientific fish. Name Soft Album. You may have seen him in some mukbang videos. Soft patty gel face, droopy mouth, sorrow. He was even nicknamed the ugliest creature in the world. But today, I have to pay for this poor little guy. Quibble. Photos of water droplet fish are usually taken after being salvaged. The reason why it looks distorted. It's because he has no muscles, no bones, his soft gelatinous body. It was meant to fit in. The horrors of the deep sea evolved once forcibly brought to a shallow sea or surface. The body will collapse and deform due to instantaneous loss of pressure. Just because unable to adapt to the low pressure environment on land. 3,688 we meters. Finally arrived. The average depth of the Earth's oceans. This means that all the horrors we have experienced before. On the scale of the Earth, it's just an ordinary level. Keep going deeper. 3,800 meters near the bottom of the deep zone. A behemoth appeared in the darkness. Titanic. The wreck of this 52310-ton steel behemoth. Builder. Proudly proclaimed as the never-silent ship. However, the strength of the iceberg on April 14 let him take over 1,500 lives, all the way into the cold abyss. It has been sleeping here for over 110 years. He lay quietly on the seabed of the North Atlantic. Bacteria and ocean currents are corroding the hull. Expert predictions. Within a few decades, the wreckage of the Titanic will vanish completely. Crossing this resting place, we're going to break the 4-kilometer barrier. Enter the most desolate place on Earth, the most terrifying abyss area of pressure. The water here is approaching freezing. Most of the seafloor is a continuous plain, covered with thick mud. Like mud, the environment is approaching the limits of life. Many creatures cannot survive again, but there is one creature, but I'm able to live here with ease. He's a tripod. Fish on stilts. In order to prevent myself from sinking into the soft silt bottom, he put a flag of the secondary flag, extremely long evolutionary strip, like a tripod on the bottom of the sea. He has no eyes. Just facing the faint willow. Stand motionless with your mouth open. One stop is for several days. Waiting for willows to turn tiny crustaceans. Put it in your mouth. He is the one who has truly opened his mouth to food. The charm of Jinhai expedition. You never know what you will encounter in the next second. Still cute. 1. Pink and tender creature with elephant ears. Is fanning the ear like fins. Swaying towards you. Don't rub your eyes. You're not hallucinating. This is known as Dumbo Octopus of the Deep Sea Alliance. He doesn't have a regular fish with long tentacles. They have a couple, like in Disney animation. Dumbo with big ears. He slowly fanned the ear like fins, floating in the abyss. Like a ghost and like a genie, bringing a touch to the dead sea floor. Incredible vitality. But the most shocking thing in the abyss is not a single creature. It's a 100-year-old funeral meridian. When a giant whale dies in the surface ocean, his body will slowly sink into the abyss for thousands of meters. In this barren land of extreme nutrient scarcity, this one weighs several tons, even dozens of tons of whale carcasses. Like an oasis falling from the sky, busy sleeping sand will be the first to come. Over a period of months to years, crazy, feeding his flesh and subsequently, blood. Polychaetes and crustaceans move in, feeding on remnants of tissue. They even thrive on skeletons. Finally, when only a pair of bones remains, trapped bacteria can go deep into the bone. It breaks down the lipids, releases hydrogen sulfide, this toxic gas, but it feeds thousands of tube worms, and they create a world that is completely independent of sunlight. A thriving micro-ecosystem. The Book of Changes falls. Not only is this the most generous death in the ocean, it is also in the abyss, the greatest hymn to the endless life. It's a skeleton. Can last for as few as decades, for hundreds of years. The dive continues. The abyss belt is far from the end of our trip. When the depth crosses 6 kilometers, we have entered the last forbidden zone on Earth. Ultra Abyss Zone, Hadao Zone. This name, from Hades in Greek mythology. It means the underworld, and he described the environment so beautifully. Pitch black death trail, cold and terrifying water pressure that can crush anything. Here it is. Every square centimeter of your skin has to endure over 600 atmospheres. Water leaking in the gap can stop the waste and cut off your body. Most conventional submarines are here will be instantly crushed into a ball of scrap iron. At this point, the abyssal plain in its place are steep trenches, a huge wound torn to the surface of the earth. Many people thought this would be the hiding place of the great, like the jagged shark or the Cthulhu monster. But the reality is quite the opposite. Under such extreme pressure, Calcium cannot be deposited at all.
This means
it's
that
impossible to have hard bones here, and giant creatures with thick carapaces. The most iconic creature here. Instead, this delicate little guy who looks like a large tadpole. Mariana lionfish. It has the deepest habitat of any known fish. It's only 15 centimeters long. The whole body is translucent light pink. In order to combat the intense pressure of the deep sea, evolved a cartilaginous body filled with a gel-like substance. There's only a dead end to being strong here. Ultimate softness is the highest philosophy when the depth gauge breaks 10,000 meters. Even Mariana lionfish can't handle the water pressure here. We're completely in the no-fish zone. These people have become single-celled foraminifera. Sea cucumber, and like a giant insect, like giant amphipods. They eat debris falling from the upper waters. Living with animal carcasses is the deepest scavenger on Earth. Keep falling. 10,800 meters. 10,900 meters. The sub slammed into the ocean floor. Congratulations to your distinguished future billionaires. Now, you have successfully reached the ocean. Even the deepest part of the entire Challenger Abyss in the Mariana Trench. In the known oceans, there is no deeper place than this. The depth is nearly 11,000 kilometers. Water pressure up to 1,100 It's kind of on the lid of your bracket. Directly stacked 3 off-road vehicles. At this depth on the seafloor, only extremely fine sediments, surrounded by a scalp-tingling death. Except for the occasional millimeter-sized end that swims crustacean. There's almost nothing here. This is beyond the loneliness and desolation of human cognition. This is 1960. The first human ride on the Trieste was produced. Device arrives here. It set a precedent for abyss exploration. Then the famous director James Cameron and the Chinese Endeavour. They also visited this area extreme one after another. In human history, there's only 3 explorers that have ever dived less than the number of people who went to the moon. You become number 4 by imagining. However, in this light, the deepest part of the Earth, beyond the reach of life, through the window, we saw a deeper sea monster than any other, more creepy existence. A plastic bag. Yes, it took us millions of years, from sea to land, and with the best technology, it took half a century to barely return to the abyss. But the garbage we create, but one step ahead of us, quietly, occupy the deepest part of the planet, from the waves at sea level to the 1100-kilometer Challenger Abyss. This thrilling dive, it ends here. We witness the flourishing of the light-transmitting layer, ambiguity in the twilight madness district, in the midnight district. I have also witnessed the forbearance and perseverance. Each layer of the deep sea has unique Every life. Creature has its own survival They are wisdom. In the dark, high pressure, and surviving low tenaciously in extreme environments where food Reproduction is scarce. Uses life to interpret the willfulness as of the life. Opening sentence states. We are understanding of the mysterious world is still in the remaining 95%. Maybe there are more secrets that change human cognition.